So I just started doing single nostril breathing on the left side because sun side, the heat side is the right side and moon, the cooling side is the left side. So I just did 5-6 times I did single nostril breathing and my mind and my body started becoming cooler. Now while we are playing different roles in any age, we are being governed by 8 aspects of our life wheel. So that is your emotional health, your relationships, your physical body, your own understanding, whether you are taking things personally or you are accepting easily, then career, money, your self-love, how much you are taking care of yourself, or you are just a person who is a giver, taking care of others. So we are taking care of all this, whether we are a child or we are grown up. And then I also decided we will become zero balance people. Everything was given away. All small loans which were there were closed. That is how we became zero balance. But by that time, as I said, acceptance, surrender had come and faith was there. The moment I become greedy, and then I pray, please give me this, please give it, never happened. But when I just surrender, but now many a times it has happened, a thought comes and it is taken care.
Namaskar everyone. Welcome to the Meeting Point podcast. Today we have a very inspiring guest and she brings with her a lot of experiences from the field of yoga, emotional well-being, children's yoga and whatnot. So a lady who's worked for good 40 years and been in the field of yoga for 14 years. So let's hear more about her interesting journey. Welcome, Karuna ji. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for calling me here today.
My pleasure.
As everyone knows, I'm Karuna Nilkant. And this name has been given Karuna by my yoga guru.
Okay.
Yeah, and people know us in the yoga field as Karuna, and my husband is Nilkant. And since we work as a team, so the name is Karuna Nilkant.
Aha.
And yes, earlier, like everyone, I had a simple start in the life as a teacher, and then I joined the real estate. That is where the real progress in life came.
Okay.
Where I learned, how to sell the flats and offices and even the commercial places, and I learned a lot over there. And then a point came 14 years back when our children got married.
Okay.
Our nest had become empty. So they told us that go on a pilgrimage.
Okay.
And they made an itinerary for 6 weeks in South India because it was Diwali time.
Okay.
And नॉर्थ में हमें कुछ मिला नहीं वैकेंसीज फॉर होटल्स एंड ऑल. तो साउथ जा रहे थे तो वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड टोल्ड मी दैट यू हैव नेवर बीन टू साउथ, so stay at one place for 1 week and then go further, so that you are able to gel with the climatic conditions over there.
Correct.
So we said okay, and then luckily our daughter booked us into Shivananda Yoga Vedantari Ashram.
Aha.
In
Kerala.
In Kerala, yeah, that is 32 kilometers from Trivandrum.
Wait, Nayyar Dam wala.
Nayyar Dam wala,
okay.
yes. And we went there. We were booked for 5 days. For 4 days, I was complaining whole day about each and everything. I didn't like anything. And 5th day when I had to leave, I didn't feel like leaving. And I don't know, suddenly decided that I'm going to stay back.
Okay.
We stayed back. And we stayed back for more than 10 years.
You stayed back for 10 years?
Yeah.
Went there for 5 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
And from that 6th day, all the complaints were gone. Everything was okay, though it took me 2 years to adjust to the this thing atmosphere, to how the workings happen in the ashram. To adjust to the ashram life, it took almost 2 years, but somehow I was happy. And my husband, he said, मैं अकेले घर जाके क्या करूँगा? So he also stayed back, and since both of us were there, the time went very well. We did the yoga course.
अच्छा, वो TTC करते हैं वहाँ पे वो?
TTC 1 month का, and till then, believe me, I thought yoga is for people who don't have much to do in life. I didn't know one day I would become a yoga teacher. And yes, we did our yoga training course after 4 months. And ever since, we've been teaching around the world. We've taught more than 45, now I think almost 50,000 students around the world.
Wow.
And during this 14 years in the ashram, it brought a full 360 degrees change in our attitude, in our thinking, in our way of living the life.
Wow.
And that is where I learned that it is not only, yoga is not only physical health. Yoga is not only, making you more flexible or more strenuous. You are able to do difficult asanas, hold them. No. Yoga is much more. You start with the physical health, but then you will see that your mind starts changing. You don't have to put in an effort to become a positive person. When the body is healthy, the mind is healthy, or vice versa. Mind becomes healthy, body which is still work in progress, getting healthy, getting healed, body heals faster. And when body and mind, they are in sync, your spirit is very happy. Spirit is like the parent.
Right. So it must have been quite a transition, ना? काफी unlearn करना पड़ा होगा. काफी changes, मतलब there must have been a lot of mental struggle.
That's what I told you, it took me 2 years to adjust to the ashram life. Because being in the corporate, we were used to staying a very comfortable life.
Yeah.
Ashram, you just have one small room, you do your own work. Means even the basics, cleaning the room, washing your clothes, all that you are doing, which we had never done.
Right.
But somehow the atmosphere over there, and when every day in the morning when you do the meditation, and for me, I think the change came where they read every day, when you must be knowing that after the meditation, they read one paragraph from any book of the gurus or the ascended masters, by Swami Shivananda or Vishnu Devananda. That one paragraph would set me thinking. And many a times, most of us found that today that is what they wanted to hear.
Okay.
It related to each one's unique problem. Answer was one. And that when I started pondering, they don't sit and teach you. They just give short explanation. But I think those ponderings then led me to Swadhyay, to study, And then I started studying the books on Swami Shivananda from the ashram library. So that I took up while we were doing the voluntary work over there. And I would read it. And I think staying in the ashram, I was lucky because swamis were there, mentors were there. And whenever I got stuck at certain point, because being a logical person
Yeah.
in the corporate life or in the worldly life, you want logic for everything. And that doesn't happen in the spiritual life, or the scriptures. So many a times it makes you think, ऐसा हो सकता है? Can this thing happen?
True.
But I was lucky, as I told you, Swamis were there, there were many other mentors. I would ask them, and I had the habit of asking the same question to 3-4 different Swamis, and so I would get a perspective of all of them. And that's how my journey of understanding spirituality began. I'm not a religious person today also. But spirituality taught me, as Swami Shivananda says, be good, do good. So if you are good, then only you will be able to do good.
Correct.
Be kind, be compassionate.
True.
So unless you are not practicing kindness, you cannot be compassionate. So these small things, then I started putting them into practice. That is when the real challenge came. Reading is different. Understanding the logic is different, but when even a small thing, like why in the morning if my husband keeps a cup outside in the tray and not on the saucer, triggers me. And every day, even at home when we were there, I used to, have argument with him. How many times I've told you, after you finish drinking your tea, put it in the saucer. Why you put it out in the tray? And then I realized that every day I tell him he's in his own world. I don't think he ever listened to me. Like many a times, maybe what triggers him of me when I never paid attention, because we both were not aware. And that is when I understood what is awareness. Getting triggered is not awareness. That is, you are complaining.
Yeah.
You are complaining, or you are condemning him, you are criticizing, you are judging yourself, or you are justifying yourself. But if you are not paying attention, okay, after you've understood this, you need to change yourself, not him. Then it is of no use. And that change, to bring that change into you, it takes lot more awareness, where you have to justify with your own ego, with your own anger, and you have to convince yourself it is not his fault. Neither it is your fault. But if you change your own thinking, accept him as he is, the trigger will have gone.
Yeah. It's actually just becoming more observant, questioning yourself, observing the other person and the scenarios, and I guess you start getting the answers. It is all about that eventually. Wow.
So if you have read Swami Shivananda, you might have read somewhere, he says that even though I've written 300 books or more on Vedanta, on yoga, on healing, he was a doctor.
He was a doctor.
So he was a doctor of the body, but then as he became Swami, he became a doctor for the body and the mind and the spirit, So he had written his experiences from which we learn, we pick up what resonates with us.
Okay.
So he says somewhere, do not get convinced even with my writing unless you put into practice yourself. When you practice it yourself, the same thing, that time you are convinced to follow it. And that will be more helpful not only for yourself, for your own mental and physical health, but also to others. Because at that time, you are talking from conviction. You are not quoting something that you have read and still having doubt in your mind.
Right. Now, because you're believing it,
Believe me.
you've seen the changes, you've seen the effects of it, and that's why you sound convincing also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like for an example, just today, because I think this example very appropriately goes with this talk. Like while traveling here, in the taxi, the driver was very hesitant in switching on the AC. I don't know if he was being thrifty or whatever. I told him 2-3 times he would switch on, but within less than a minute he would switch it off again. Then I thought, why argue with him? Why spoil my peace of mind? And the pranayam that I've learned as a yogi. So I just started doing single nostril breathing on the left side. Because sun side, the heat side is the right side, and moon, the cooling side is the left side. So I just did 5-6 times. I did single nostril breathing, and my mind and my body started becoming cooler. So that is how, when today was not the first time I practiced it, but while learning 14 years back, by doing yoga and even on other days, when I practiced this, then when I saw the results, so that is convincing yourself. Today, if I have to teach the same thing, I have my own examples to give.
Correct.
And when I share my own examples, I'm coming out more confidently and more convincing. And that is exactly what Swami Shivananda
taught. Yeah. Absolutely. And so that's the place from where your work on emotional healing, emotional well-being started.
Yeah.
With senior citizens and children, with all age groups, I think, right?
All age groups from 3 till 97 so far my students have been. And I'm grateful to my students. Because of them, I could, practically see how what I have learned brings changing in them. And then little more by being observant, many a times then, I started using few variations as per their physical health and the mental health to see that it is helping them without changing the core teachings.
I guess, and everyone needs emotional well-being, right? From, as you said, from a 3-year-old probably to 97-year-old, everyone needs to work on their emotional well-being and health and all that.
I think this becomes holistic. Now today you see, you are also a wife, you are a daughter first.
Yeah.
Wife, daughter-in-law, mother, aunt. So one person, working lady, one person playing different roles.
Correct.
Now, while we are playing different roles in any age, we are being governed by 8 aspects of our life wheel.
Okay.
So that is your emotional health, your relationships, your physical body, your own understanding, whether you are taking things personally or you are accepting easily, then career, money, many things, your self-love, how much you are taking care of yourself, or you are just a person who is a giver, taking care of others. So, we are taking care of all this, whether we are a child or we are grown up. So, I think this is what yoga taught me, how to integrate. So, for this again, from my own example, you were in the ashram, Nayadam, so because you will be able to relate to this example. In the temple, Rajrajeshwari temple, we like how in India, we believe when the lady has menses or she's having periods, for 4 days, she will not enter the temple. Worldly way, they say she is not clean. But what the elders at that time, they didn't explain very clearly. They saw to it that these 4 days, she is not very active. Because her body is undergoing, removing the toxicities. And it is undergoing the changes, hormonal changes. While during the menses, she gets stomach cramps, her body becomes weak, mentally also she's down. So that time people, I think, didn't understand so much. That much education was not there. So anything put under religious thing was accepted blindly.
Okay.
So they said this 4 days she will not go there because she's unclean. But that way, that lady, she got rest for 4 days.
Right.
So you see, neither did she get triggered, nor did others get triggered that she's not doing anything.
True.
Right? So that is how my old belief was changed. That it is not connected to religion. Maybe it is, but this is my view. So please don't hold me responsible for it.
Yes.
That is what I understood.
True.
Right? So that is how I started seeing logic in other things. And once I got my answers similarly, I started understanding, and I think that is when I started accepting the person or the situation as it is by respecting that person's perspective, the person's conditioning.
Got it.
And that's how the acceptance started coming
in
easily without saying, I have to be accepted. I have to accept. But how do I accept?
True. Without even understanding what the word acceptance means. Yeah.
So, this is actually, I think, is what self-study. Swadhyay.
True.
So, acceptance started coming, and acceptance brought surrender very easily. You can say the surrender walked in with the acceptance. Because I was able to surrender to the situations, I was able to surrender to the divine will, and still accept the other person or the situation, even though they have not accepted me. Because now I understood that when their time comes, even they will learn the same
thing. True. So I guess all these, these key words that you're uttering right now, acceptance, surrender, I guess all these phases or experiences helped you deal with your cancer journey also, right? With your cancer journey.
Yeah, because you see, when you accept, when you surrender, your faith becomes very strong.
Hmm.
Now, when my faith became very strong, whatever challenges came, physical challenges, like when I was diagnosed for cancer 4 years back, I accepted it.
Hmm.
And more, because when we went to get my biopsy report,
Hmm.
and when doctor said, I had gone with my husband, and doctor thought I will be affected.
Hmm. Hmm.
So he told my husband, he said, I understand how difficult it is going to be for her
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
when I read out the report.
Hmm.
And the biopsy report is
Positive.
genuine, that she has got cancer.
Hmm.
And she will have to go for the operation as soon as you can do it, though she's in the pre-state, 10 to 15%.
Okay.
But you never know whether it will spread.
Hmm.
She goes directly to the third stage
Okay.
within 2-3 weeks or 2-3 months or years.
Oh, that can also happen.
That can happen because the cancer cells, they spread very fast. And when he said that, knowing my husband that he's very weak at taking such things, I just looked at his face and it had become ashen.
Hmm.
And I told myself, within those few seconds, not even minute, for his sake, I have to be strong.
Hmm.
And I told doctor, I said, don't worry.
Hmm.
First of all, my husband is with me.
Hmm.
Second, my God is with me.
Hmm.
And I have faith in both of them and my family, that is my children and their spouses, because they are going to take care of me.
Right.
So I am fully taken care of. You do what you have to
need to
do, and we will go as per your advice.
Okay.
And inside, believe me, I was shaking.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I just could not understand that a yogi person like me, who has a very good diet, sattvic diet, Ayurvedic diet, healthy lifestyle.
ये कहाँ से हुआ?
हाँ, कैसे हुआ?
Yeah.
So, while I was telling the doctor all this, and inside as my stomach was shivering due to fear, and this doubt came up.
Hmm. Hmm.
And immediately, I think my faith held my hand,
Hmm.
saying, don't worry, we are with you. You are protected, you are guided, we are going to take care of you. Keep your faith stronger. This is the test for you. And as soon as I realized it is a test for me, I said, okay, I will see to it I don't fail you. And that's how
Wow.
the journey started. I was operated.
So
It was 8 hours operation.
okay. So this was what was this cancer called?
This was oral cancer. There was
Oral
a
cancer.
small blister on my tongue,
Okay.
which had come up some 4-5 months earlier. And it was not painful, so I didn't even know. It was smaller than this bindi also.
Okay. Okay.
But that day, I had tea. I had habit of having very hot tea.
Hmm.
Means, the smoke shouldn't go off that
hot.
hot. And I've been drinking that way for many years.
Hmm. Hmm.
That particular day, I couldn't take a sip also. It started irritating me, and I couldn't eat. Then when I had my breakfast, I couldn't swallow. So then I thought that I don't know what is wrong. I better go to dentist. I thought tongue ka hai, so I related it with tooth thumb out. So I took an appointment because I never wait for anything for anyone in the family. Let us wait for 2 days and then we go to doctor. Evening when I went to doctor, she was a new doctor in Goa, a new clinic, but I think she was God sent. She checked me, she said, I think you need to see the oral surgeon. I said, why? She said, no, before giving you the medicine, I want to be clear about what exactly is wrong.
What's going on?
And then we give you the medicine accordingly. But I think I will still not be the right person to get the diagnosis done and give you the medicine. You take his advice and follow him. And she gave us the address. Next morning we went to the oral surgeon at Mapusa and in Goa. And he again was a young person, but again I would say God sent. He checked everything and then he said, I think we should go for biopsy. I don't want to frighten you. But again the same thing, to give you the correct medicine, I need to have that biopsy report.
Correct.
And he said, nothing to worry. It's just that you are not having any pain. Had there been some pain, I would have been able to write the prescription just now. But because there is no pain, I want to know why this blister is here. And we need to do the biopsy.
Okay.
Again, third day we went for biopsy and they said 72 hours it will take and come after that. So the whole week went and then when we went they said they confirmed it. And then they said they'll have to cut my tongue 2 centimeters and then they'll have to either take the flap up from here or from hand, whatever we say. So I told them, whatever you think. You are a professional.
Yeah, you know
so
better.
You will take the best decision and we will follow it. And then there were some 13 to 14 kinds of different tests and I think 6 or 7 I think were done in Goa. I was to be operated on 10th of December and I came to know about having cancer on 27th of November 2019. So just in those 13 days, 2 weeks, we were ready for the operation. But my children said, Goa, you're alone, come to Pune. So we came to Pune. Pune doctor also, Dr. Sumit Shah, very renowned oncologist of Pune. He checked my reports and he said, you need not do the same reports again because I believe in Goa Medical College's reports. So that was very kind of him. The remaining 5-6 reports were done over here, the tests. And when those reports came, he said, take care, we will go as per your plan of 10 December. But instead of 10th, we will do the operation on 12th of December. I said, okay. And that 8 hours of operation, they cut the tongue, they cut 3 layers from here, they removed the muscle from here to make a tongue. Then on the right thigh, grafting was done to put the skin here. So all this took 8 hours. And the best thing, I was unconscious, but thousands of my students, thousands.
They were praying for you.
They were praying that day for me from
Beautiful.
different states, countries, sending healing, sending distance healing, sending Reiki. One of my very good friends, she did some blue ray meditation wherein, you know, the operation theater, the doctors, she gave blessings to everyone. And the operation went Very smoothly, I don't know, but that's what the doctors and the nurses, 11 of them were there in the operation room. They said this the first time. It seemed as though we were not in our operation room, we were somewhere else. There was
Okay.
so
Wow.
much peace, and the nurses said that is the first time doctor didn't get angry with us. Sometimes, he gets agitated, but that day everything went so smoothly, and I'm thankful to all my students who prayed for me that day.
Beautiful. Yeah, yeah. I saw the downpour of messages. Then we had not met, but we were connected on Facebook. I guess because of the Shivananda connection, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And yeah, I read those messages, and yeah. There was lots of messages pouring in for you. It was beautiful.
I felt I was surrounded with love. I was in that
Absolutely.
balloon of love, and from fifth month, as I told you, I was operated on 12 December 2019,
Yeah.
and from, I think, 1st April 2020,
Okay.
just after 4 months, almost 4 months, I started sitting on the bed,
Started taking classes.
my online yoga classes
Wow.
on the Zoom. And
Wow.
that's how the journey started of my improvement.
And your recovery also, right? I mean, that
Recovery
was
was very fast, very fast.
Yeah.
Though during recovery many challenges came, but I'm an emotional healer. I'm not only a well-being coach,
Right.
teaching yoga, meditation, but I'm also an emotional healer as I learned how to understand the emotions during my self-study. So, I got the chance to practice all those on me,
Yourself.
on myself during those initial months while I was healing from cancer. And that is when again I understood so many more challenges and how to overcome them. So it was that if I am a healer, the first thing I have to heal myself. As Swami Shivananda said, experience it on yourself first, then believe. And exactly that again I started. And that is when I think the chair yoga, at that time, though in India it was not very well known. West it had come long back.
Okay.
But in India, chair yoga was still not very prominent. And even I didn't know the word chair yoga that time. But sitting on my hospital bed, sitting on the bed at home, when all these things took time healing. The plaster was here, there was a food pipe from the nose till the stomach for 2 months. So with all that, doctor said you need a water bed. And I knew that when I would sneeze or a little cough would come, I would be fully, the whole body would get shaken and the pain was unbearable. So on the water bed, if I'm turning or something,
It would
how
be
many
even
times
more.
in a day I will be adding more pain? So being a yogi, I thought, let me try first. So, we sit like this and we do pranayam. My hand also was in the plaster and all that. I started using one finger and seeing, yes, my stomach would not inflate, no deflate, nothing. But slowly I understood. Then my back would pain. I started coming little forward and I saw when I'm at 45 degrees, I'm able to breathe. So then that belief, of teaching pranayam to healthy people, you have to sit straight, spine straight. With sick people, this will not work because they cannot sit straight because of physical issue at this time, a physical discomfort which is temporary at this time. So even if they just bend forward 45 degrees, not 100%, but 80% benefit they are going to derive. So that is how then sitting, how my hand would not go up fully. Today also it is not going up fully. So that time the hand would go this much.
Okay.
Slowly, how it will go. Okay, let me come. Today also I cannot lift the glass with my right hand, but then how I'm going to do the lifting, how I'm going to make my arms stronger. Slowly, I would bear little pain, but I understood those. And now when I'm helping my therapy students, I'm not a doctor by profession, but my own
Experiences are teaching you so
experiences, they taught me so much.
Yeah.
And today I'm more tolerant with my
Students.
patients.
Wow.
So that is how I'm able to teach chair yoga to my senior citizens. Whatever problem they have, I just look at them and I know how much. So then that is where again that belief, I don't take it into consideration, because what we have learnt is for healthy people.
Right.
And I have not done theory or anything, and I tell them, you just see, and I see to it they don't get disturbed. And nobody has so far I have helped. They have all become healthy within 3 to 5 weeks.
Wow.
And that is all, I think, the blessings of everyone and the love.
And the love. Yeah.
And that again, I think, the faith.
Yeah.
And
So, when did your trip to Dharamshala happen? Remember you had told me the story about, not story, it happened, where you went to Dharamshala on your own and with very less money. Was that before cancer or after?
that was before cancer. That was, I think, I will say 5 years back.
Okay.
While doing Swadhyay, at the age of 60, that is 6 years back, I wanted to do solo journey.
Okay.
I wanted to explore myself. That is when I think
we
had
met in
also.
person.
I think we were destined,
Yes. And that was also evening time. Kafi andhera sa tha. We were just bumping into each other.
Hardly 1 minute we spoke.
We spoke in Dharamshala. Yeah.
You recognized me.
Yeah.
So this what happened summers, I can't bear the heat of South India. So that led me to solo journeys also. So 3 months, April, May, June, I started going for 3 years to north.
Okay.
And from Dharamshala I started. And then 16 hill stations around in 3 years. I did solo traveling.
Okay.
Now it so happened that when we went to the ashram 14 years back, after 2 years, we decided we don't want to go back home. So we told our daughter, pack off everything, donate.
All your belongings.
All the belongings.
Beautiful.
We were in South India. She was here in Pune. And we told her, wind up everything and just donate. Because I thought if I go, when I'm seeing the things, I may think, 35 years I've hoarded so much. I think I will not give this.
Ye rakho, wo bhi rakho.
No, this has got so much emotion. Oh, my grandmother had given me this, I'm not giving.
Yes.
So I told her, if I have to just give everything away. And that time I was reading more on dispassionate, how to become dispassionate also in my self-study. I said, please give away everything. Don't ask me, should I keep this, should I keep that. Just give away each and everything. Whatever we are having here, we will just stay with that. She said, okay. And we didn't have much money. Frankly speaking, because before that my husband was very sick and everything had gone in his medical access, but that was not the reason to go to ashram. We were still very comfortable. So, there wasn't much to see of finances also. And then I also decided we will become zero balance people.
Okay.
Everything was given away. All small loans which were there were closed. That is how we became zero balance. So the faith not only brings you through, but you have to recognize the help. That also again, when you are doing self-study, it becomes very difficult at that time because so much confusion comes. Today we don't want to accept anyone's help. We feel, no, we are self-sufficient. We don't want to be dependent. Or sometimes our ego comes in the way. So these all things, again the self-study teaches you.
Right.
And again you pass, you fail, you pass, you fail while so many times. And that is how your faith keeps getting stronger. So I think that is how that money worries were not there. Today I don't have worry how my, how my rent will be paid, because we don't have anything, but both my children have pitched in since 4 years. They are taking care. But still, we are infinite travelers. So for traveling, I don't ask them.
Yeah.
For shifting, I don't ask them.
Yeah. And you just travel in 2 suitcases.
Yeah, we both have one suitcase. Yeah, that also it took some, I think, 6 years to start reducing that luggage also which was with us.
I hope to get there.
You will get there. So it's just that journey, So sometimes if we go somewhere we like, our vacation becomes longer.
Yeah.
But we are provided, we are taken care, and comfortably. The moment I become greedy, I want something, and then I pray, please give me this, please give it, never happened. But when I just surrender, but now many a times it has happened, a thought comes, and it is taken care. I mean, I don't, the God doesn't even let me say that into prayers.
Right.
So the different stages, still the tests are going on. But all the 8 aspects of your life, when you start looking at them, and you will see that it is you who has to bring change in yourself.
True.
So once that change comes in you, things start improving. Because now you are not taking it personally. Now it has stopped affecting you. But still certain things, when the ripples come, they have cause and effect. But then that is limited. You realize it very fast. You don't deep dive into it.
Yeah, you don't get sucked by it.
Yeah, you don't get sucked back. You don't dive deep into it again and go into depression, or you're not gone back to that old thing again. You are brought out again. Again, your confidence is restored.
Right.
Faith is restored. So the continuous tests also will be ongoing. It keeps testing us from time to time as we, climb the ladder.
True. Yeah, and I think this is a lifelong process, isn't it? It's a lifelong process of
Yeah, they say no, you
learnings and
never. It is never the knowledge taking knowledge, getting knowledge is never ending. There
never
is
ending.
no age to it.
True. Beautiful. So, such an inspiring journey, Karunaji, you've gone through. Right from the corporate world, working at a very senior level. You were the VP of an organization, right?
I was acting vice president at that time when I left, and just the next day, means it was decided I will be the president. And that same evening, just as the meeting got over, we came out, and the deluge happened in Mumbai in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
I got washed away in that deluge, and then that again is a long story. For 3 months, I was hospitalized and all that, and then they had to have some VP over there. So till then, I was acting VP.
Acting VP.
And the day I was announced in the meeting that from tomorrow she will officially be the VP.
Yeah. But Destiny had other plans for you.
Destiny had other plans for me. And then that is when, the whole 360, after that, I think after that, this happened in 2005 and we went to ashram in 2010.
Okay.
So those 5 years were very challenging.
Okay.
They were the most challenging years of the life.
All right.
But I think
you sailed through.
I think everyone sails through.
Everyone sails through. If we have the right set of mind and we know the right questions to ask.
Mindset. We need to change our mindset.
Yeah. We sail through all situations. Yeah. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि you can't go through. Unless you yourself are causing the resistance to it.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So lovely. Corporate life to yoga journey, Shivananda Ashram. Wow. Very inspiring indeed.
Thank you for calling me here.
Yeah, on this note, I'd love to deepest gratitude, Karunaji, for coming and sharing your journey.
Thank you.
And all the learnings. Yeah, that's also moving me in a particular direction now.
I hope.
Because,
I hope it makes a difference, when we hear the experiences.
Yeah.
And then not only hearing, when we see.
Correct.
How the person has come. It helps others.
Absolutely.
Though people are very resistant. Many I have seen as I was doing my Swadhyaya changing, people would get intimidated. They would think, when I would relate my experiences earlier, they would think I'm making them up. And then they would say, no, this is not possible in today's world. But there also then you are learning. When you walk the spiritual path, there is more unlearning.
True.
And then the relearning comes. And that time you are sort of just, when the unlearning is happening, your ego is totally crushed.
Oh yes.
Your anger rises so much. That is the most difficult part to go through.
You know what reminds me of my first day at Shivananda? So I had gone there for TTC, right? तो वहाँ पे होता है ना कि you also volunteer at the ashram. You're living there for a month, almost a month.
1 month.
तो वहाँ पे duties दी जाती है. तो the duty that came to me, so पहले मुझे आ रहा था, so there was food serving and बहुत सारी duties थी. मैं मन में बोल रही थी food serving मुझे ना आए because I'm left-handed. Many people will not like it. घर पे तो everyone knows, so left hand चलता है. I'm like in an ashram with so many senior people or people from different walks of life, right? Different parts of the world were there. I'm like वो नहीं आना चाहिए मुझे. And that is exactly what I got. I'm like, all right, Sarika, test शुरू हो गई है.
That is, law of attraction again.
Yes.
What happens when we think something, that we don't want. And we are thinking so much about it that it comes attracted towards us.
Yeah.
The test begins, and then the test shows you that simply you are worrying is so easy.
So easy. आराम से राइट हैंड से वो पानी केटल होती थी, चाय की
Yeah.
केटल में पानी डालते थे
Yeah.
हम लोग. तो मैंने पानी से स्टार्ट किया. मैं कहा फूड आई विल सर्व लेटर बिकॉज वो एक सिस्टम है सर्व करने का. आई सेड आई डोंट वांट द फूड स्पिलिंग ऑफ from a katori or whatever, so let me start with. So everyone was very supportive, everyone was enthusiastic, right? Because
Like
they all
you,
wanted to.
Like you, when I was there for the first 5 days and I said I was all the time complaining. And when they told me that you will be given karma yoga, the
Karma
duty,
yoga, yes.
and that time in my mind I was saying, I must not get toilet cleaning because I was very particular about the
Oh, yeah,
toilets
yeah,
being
yeah.
spick and span. But I had never held a brush also in my hand in my own house. And
That is the duty you
not
got.
one toilet, 4 toilets of the dormitory.
Yeah. You lived in the dormitory then?
No, I was living in a room.
Okay.
But room you have to clean your own toilet.
Yeah.
Because we had gone as a yoga vacation. No? We had not gone as means by that time I had not decided. I was just visiting the ashram.
Right.
But even when as a guest you are visiting the ashram, you are given karma yoga.
Karma yoga, yes.
You have to do some
Yeah.
duty.
That was the term. I was forgetting that. Karma yoga is
Yeah.
what we were given. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
then when they gave me, I was so sure. I am not going to do it.
नहीं सब ego चला जाता है. You are completely ready to surrender after some point of time, and you begin to enjoy it also.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at everyone as the same.
Yeah.
Everyone is in a uniform. That's
Yeah.
the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone is the same. And
Teachers and students, all are same.
everything,
Equality.
yeah, everything falls in place. Yeah.
That is it.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for coming, Karuna ji, for the podcast. And I hope you also enjoyed listening to our conversations. So please like and subscribe our channel on YouTube. And please do give us more suggestions if you would like us to bring in interesting people, interesting conversations to happen on this page. Thank you so much.